As I got an emergency situation right here. Have you ever stopped to think about how we do and why we do what we do and how we do it and how we start to get into the project of whatever we're doing? And I thought, well, you know, now a lot of the stuff that we do is just reactive, okay? A limb slaps us in the face or almost hits us and we just react, okay? So that's one way. A lot of stuff we do is reactive. And then, you know, there's some stuff that we do that is second nature. It's like you were born to do it. Come to me and say, well, where did you learn to build? And I tell them, well, I don't know. It's just, well, my grandfather was a carpenter, and I reckon there's some kind of carpenter gene. My brother-in-law's a mechanic. His father was a mechanic before he became a hog farmer. They just have a mechanic mentality. They just know how to take things apart and put them back together. So I reckon there's a gene there or something. There's some stuff that becomes second nature because of our repetition in doing it. Then I guess you could say it becomes natural. We've done it so often, we don't even have to think about it. You just do it. So there's stuff that we react to, stuff that is second nature to us. It's just like we were born to do it. There's stuff that we've learned how. It may not be in our sweet spot, but we've learned how to do it. And then there's that stuff that, you know, we need to deliberate on. We need to have a little conversation with ourselves before we engage in some processes. It's a good thing when you have time to deliberate on something that, you know, could be dangerous, could be fatal, could be costly. It's a good thing to have a little chat with yourself or with an expert, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm getting ready to get these other poplar trees down. The second one I don't think is going to be too much of a problem. In fact, if there was not a building there, I wouldn't hesitate one heartbeat to go ahead and cut that wedge out, start my back cut. Feel like it's just going to drop exactly where I want it to, how I want it to. So I had a little talk with myself on fixing to get started on this tree. And so I asked myself, I said, can you guarantee 100% that that tree's not going to land on your building? It's going to fall exactly where you want it to. So then I turned and answered myself and I said, well, let me stop and think about that a minute. First of all, I'm human. And because we're human, we make mistakes, right? And not only do we make mistakes, we're prone to make mistakes. In fact, we come out of our mother's womb with a bent to do wrong, to make mistakes. I guess, you know, as far as spiritually speaking, that's why we need a Savior, isn't it? Because we have a bent to do wrong. The good book calls it sin. Well, we not only make mistakes spiritually, we make mistakes in every other area of our lives. Mentally, socially, stuff we eat. I mean, you go down, anything we make mistakes. And my response to myself, that's a whole lot of my's, isn't it? But you know, you need to have a good talking to yourself every now and then. My response was, no, I can't give you 100% blanket guarantee that what you're about to do is going to come out exactly the way you, I'm 98% sure, but I can't give you 100% sure. So the kids decided on tree number 2, which, as I said a moment ago, I feel very confident about. But the kids decided he better do it, put a little insurance on it. Won't take but just another second or two, put a cable on it, just to be sure you know where it's going. So you can be 100, as close as humanly possible, 100% sure that the desired outcome is achieved. As I think I may have mentioned, this tree's not that big. Terribly concerned that I get this cable extremely high on the tree. I just want to get it, you know, it's my insurance policy. We think it's about 90 feet tall. This is a 100-foot cable. So that's, you know, not a third of the way up, but another thing about a poplar tree, it's not very heavy. Now, because my height assessment is just that, it's just an assessment, it's not a totally 100% foolproof accuracy reading, I'm going to park the tractor probably 100 and see, I'm significantly past where I estimate the drop to be. All right, I've got the cable pretty doggone snug on this thing. I do have to go find my helmet though. And I will, let me just go ahead and interject one more thing while I'm hunting for my hat. Guys, listen, it is not, and fellas, it is not a show of weakness. You are not effeminate. You're not a wimp or a wuss by wearing your chaps and your helmet. In fact, if I watch a video and somebody's felling trees without chaps on, without a hard hat on, I say to myself, either that person is not very bright, thinks they're bulletproof, or has no experience. Tell you a quick story and then we'll cut this tree. The guys that was cutting timber down here last year on my brother-in-law's property, this guy's a professional. It's what he does for a living, cutting timber. All right, I went down to see him one morning, just say hello. I usually checked in on him at least once a week if I could. He could not wait. I got out of the truck. He just about met me halfway. He could not wait to show me his helmet. He had a metal helmet. That thing looked like it had been run over by a dozer. I said, what in the world? He said, yesterday. He said, I don't know where it came from. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it rattled me. And he showed me his helmet. Now, for him, it was a badge of honor. But for me, it was a warning sign. You don't ever, because you don't know, you can't predict. Now this one here, there is virtually zero chance that anything, all those limbs are intact. It's not going to rub against another tree. I'm still wearing my helmet. Now why do I always wear chaps if I correct? Not always. Sometimes I mess up. But if I'm smart, I always put on my chap. See that right there? That was into the chaps and not the leg. How'd you do that? Well, obviously I got careless. All right, let's crank this puppy up. Put her on the ground. I'm gonna go snug the cable just a little bit. That's a big old wedge. That's maybe a little bit too much, but I've already got it tilted a little. Just a little one bump she's going to want to go down. And not only do we make mistakes, we're prone to make mistakes. Oh no! Guys, I got an emergency situation right here. I got to get that cable over here. You know, I mean quick. What I did wrong. Please don't fall on my building. In my defense, now I wasn't too worried about the trunk of the tree hitting the building, but these limbs are going to hit the building if I didn't take evasive action. In my defense, if there is anything defensible, you can't hardly see it, but a breeze started coming up, which is very likely and happens, and it's pushing straight this way. I don't know what I should have done in hindsight. I should have cabled over there to give myself a little extra room, because I went back and looked at my stump again, guys. I mean, yeah, the problem is there's more holding wood over here than there is here, and that one twisted that way. There's too much holding wood over here. If I'd come on in over here, but I got nervous, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the direction of the cut, where the log's laying, that's where it was. I assume, I don't know. Some of you guys that are professionals can tell me, but I assume that extra holding wood on here on this side pulled it over this way. I don't know, but thank the Lord we didn't hit the building, because I'll tell you, them limbs, they slapped that tin. they can do a number on it. All right, nothing to do now but find our stick. Again, I need 14-foot material for my rafters. And this here stick is 14'6". I'm gonna take it just a little bit off the stump there. And right there be my, yeah, there's two saw logs in this. That ought to get it. Roll on, big mama. That's what I'm talking about. Straighten up there, boy. There you go. I wonder if that would roll over there on the forks. Yeah, buddy. But I know this much. This job don't pay enough to work in the rain. All right, pretty good little stack of wood. About 8 or 10 years ago, when I stuck this building down here and just put these sheds on it from these rocks laying around here, made me a little retainer wall, and that's why it looks like the backhoe's almost underground, just in case you was curious. All right, well, we got another big stump here to get up, big stump over there, and number 3. But hopefully you can see that one there has a lean this way, okay? This way, and it's also leaning this way toward us. So I think as long as we can keep it from going that way, not over pulling it this way, I mean, it's got me nervous, especially after that last one. And it's amazing how much different things look just by the trunk of the tree being gone, because don't even look up at the top, but just the trunk. But that's just gonna be so much better to have those 3 down. So how are we doing on raft? I think, like I said, we need 15 or 16, depending on how long we go. I'll be able to get 1 out of here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20. We got almost 20, 30 just right there. So we're good, ready to start doing some sawing. Well, the rain sort of come in. I sure am glad to get that cleaned up, because I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, when you're a one-man band, if you leave a mess, it's hard to get it up the next day. If I get it up then, I got it up. Listen, thank you for joining me again on taking down these poplars, and I mean, it's gonna be interesting seeing this. I'll see you in the next one, my friend.